Hi, everyone. Welcome to this week's What's Up Wednesday. My name is Rachel, and I'm on the client support team here at Early Learning Ventures. And today I am joined by Elise, who is the Executive Director of MyFriendBen. Welcome, Elise, and thank you so much for joining us today.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
I'm excited. Thank you also to everyone who is joining us live, or if you're watching the recording later, thank you for joining. If you have not heard of us before, we are a 501c3 nonprofit based out of Colorado, and our mission is to expand access to quality and affordable childcare. I have links in the description of this video for where you can find the various resources that we offer and learn more about us. So please check out those links. I also have a link to MyFriendBen, so you can learn more about that later. And on our full What's Up Wednesday playlist, you can watch our past videos as well. And since we are live today, if you have questions that come up while we're talking, please add them to the chat. This is a great opportunity to ask questions while we have Elise here with us today. Also, just comment and say hello. Let us know where you're watching from. That's always really fun to see also. And we are currently hosting a giveaway for our existing Alliance Core users to win a scholarship to use the system completely free for 1 year, which is a huge opportunity. It can save you anywhere from $300 to $1,200, depending on the size of your program. To enter, we would just like for you to add a comment to our What's Up Wednesday videos telling us what is your favorite outdoor activity to do with your children. The giveaway will be 7 weeks long, and each comment earns you an entry, so we encourage you to join each week, whether that's live or watching the recorded video later. You can still comment later. You can access those recorded videos on our Facebook, our YouTube, and on our website. You can tell us about a different outdoor activity that you love each week, and it'll be really fun at the end of this to see all of the responses. So the giveaway just started last week. You still have lots of time to participate. Last week, we did also announce the winner for our first giveaway that we started in April. So if you haven't seen that yet, please go watch it and congratulate our winner. And if you're not an existing Alliance Core user, but you would like to become one, please click the link in the description of the video so you can head over to our website and get a free demo of the system. All right, Elise, can you start us off by introducing yourself and just telling us a little bit about your role with Gary Community and how Gary Community ties into today's topic, MyFriendBen?
Yes. Thanks again for having me. My name's Elise Henson. I work at an organization called Gary Community Ventures, which is a Colorado-based philanthropic organization focused on improving opportunity for low-income kids and families in the state. And it's sort of a unique organization. It does a lot of different things, including making grants and impact investing in for-profit companies. The part of the organization that I work on and that MyFriendBen originated from is called our Ventures team, where we are actually building and testing products and programs and services in-house. And then we work really closely with community members to make sure that there's demand for them, that they work. Sometimes they don't, and then scale them up if they do. And I think a fun piece that will come through in this conversation is that the team that I work on, like, we are a bottom-up sort of approach to community solutions. So we are working directly with families, directly with navigating organizations, with early childhood providers. Those are our folks. We try to deliver value at that level of the system. And then that often actually allows us to understand better what might happen at the policy level or the state level, or other sort of like opportunities for systemic change. So that's sort of how we go about our work. We do quick, scrappy work. And then in the case of MyFriendBen, we sometimes find things that are meeting a real need and are delivering value. And then we go ahead and scale them as well.
I love that. Can you share a little bit about the story of the creation of MyFriendBen? How did the idea come about? What was the initial inspiration?
Sure. Yeah. So in that case, Gary had a group of about 100 families that were acting as a family advisory sort of group over the course of a year. So they were 100 lower income households in the Denver metro area. And we were talking to those families like twice a month often to say, what's going on in your life? What's a challenge? What's going well? Like, how could you see a philanthropic organization helping, as well as getting feedback on programs or investments that we might be considering. And one thing that came up, we didn't have a real focus on access to benefits at that time. And we just heard over and over and over that folks were like, I'm not sure what supports are out there. It takes me so long to research any given one of them and to like make my way through the sort of governmentese that exists on these websites. And there's, by the way, there's like 50 of those websites. And so folks were feeling really frustrated and, sort of like lacking hope, I would say,
Yeah, it's discouraging.
about their ability to navigate that, and just how much time they might sink into even like the research part to figure out which programs might be relevant to their household. So that we just heard that so many times that we were like, okay, there's something going on here that we can't ignore. Is there a role for us to play? And that's when we started looking around to say, what else exists in the ecosystem in other states that might be similar to this. And then that's what really led us to build MyFriendBen. And again, the fun part of it, because we work so closely with folks, we were like, hey, we're thinking about building a screener. Like, does that sound good? And then we don't stop there. We go back and we say, hey, we built a first version of it. It's just like a wireframe. What do you think? And then we go back to them 2 weeks later and say, okay, now enter your things. Let's see if it works. So it's been really close, both with community members and partner organizations from the beginning, which is also fun.
Yeah, that's awesome to work one-on-one with them like that and have them be involved, real-time users be involved from the very beginning.
Totally.
Can you tell us like all about MyFriendBen now? How does it work? What does it look like?
Yes. So MyFriendBen is an online benefits eligibility screener. So it's a free tool. It's totally free for individuals to use. It's free for navigating organizations, for any type of sort of social impact oriented organization. What happens is you go to myfriendben.org, you'll click to your state, and then you'll start the screener. And essentially what you're doing, it takes folks on average about 6.5 minutes to go through the screener. So it's really fast. This is not a like put aside half of your day to figure out what's going on. It's take 5 to 10 minutes. You answer a set of basic demographic questions about your household. So things like how many people live there, what's your income or wage information, some of your basic expenses like rent or utilities and things like that. If you have special conditions, we ask a little bit about what kind of health insurance you already have, a few things like that. But generally, it's sort of like basic stuff that you would know off the top of your head about your household. You enter in that information. As I said, it takes 5 or 6 minutes. And then at the end, you basically get a personalized benefits eligibility report for your household. You can use the whole tool anonymously, so you don't have to worry about us knowing who you are. But when you get to that final screen, what you see is a list of all of the benefits that you or someone in your household is eligible for, grouped by type. So it might be food and nutrition, utility help, cash assistance, all manner of things. There are federal, state, and local programs in there. We have over 50 programs in the tool at this point. And you can see I'm likely eligible for this set of programs. For each program, this is the cash value that you could expect to your particular household based on the information you told us on a monthly basis. Here's the annual tax credits that we found that would be relevant for your household. And then for each program, we tell you, here's how you could apply directly to the program. Here's how you could get some help with that. We've got a bunch of navigation partners who can help with specific programs. And here's about how long we expect it to take you to apply. And the point of that results page is that folks get a real clear roadmap. Here's something that wouldn't take me a long time, but is going to get me $600 a month in savings or in cash back. Yeah. And here's something lower down on the list that might only be $50 a month and is still going to take 2 hours. So I'm going to, I just have, I'm empowered to understand where I might want to spend my time and where I might want to start in that process.
That is amazing to get all of that compiled and broken down for you with less than 10 minutes of entering your information.
Yeah, it's pretty great. People seem very excited about it when they get it.
Yeah. I mean, I think anyone who has ever tried to apply for government assistance can speak about the challenges, and it's confusing. Totally. And I don't think I've seen anything like that has everything, all the different benefits, even tax credits, you said, in one place.
Yes. Yeah. And that's what we get really excited about it too, because it is quite a friendly, like user-friendly experience. And we know a lot of like what comes next in the process won't feel like that for folks. And so for us, it's been really exciting to have folks at least have one experience as they're on this journey and perhaps in crisis and trying to get support for their household that is like friendly and dignified and like responsive to a bunch of feedback that we've heard from folks like them. So that feels good.
But also to see the cost value there right in front of you, because then the next step might be a bit more challenging, might take more time, but you can see right away what you're going to get out of it and then determine if it's worth your time or not.
Exactly. Yeah. I think our whole thing here is like this should be transparent information about the social safety net that we all contribute to and should be benefiting from. There's no reason that information should require like a PhD in, benefits to try to figure out what is relevant for your household.
And you mentioned it's anonymous. Can you talk more about the importance of that?
Yeah, so we don't require any personally identifiable information. And that, again, came from our work with families. We heard that from other partners in the space as well. But folks said, like, I don't want to immediately, this is really, in some cases, this is quite sensitive information. I don't necessarily want to be putting in my name and email and phone number and stuff up front. And so we have really respected that. You don't need to log in. You don't need to download an app. Like, the accessibility has been a huge priority. You can use it with a screen reader if you have vision impairment. There's all sorts of really thoughtful design that folks on our technology team have done to make sure that it's accessible. And so that was a really intentional decision not to ask for that. It doesn't have at the end, like, oh, you filled out our quick quiz. Now see your results by entering our email, which always like drives me crazy. So there's no like gotcha at the end. It is sort of interesting. We do have one place where users can opt in to provide their name, email, phone number for two different reasons. One would be if they want us to get back in touch when we add a new benefit that it looks like they're eligible for. And so we just tested that for the first time recently. We texted folks, hey, it looks like you're eligible for a new rental assistance program that just came online in Denver. And about 40% of folks clicked through, which is a really incredible sort of conversion rate for a text more or less out of nowhere.
Yeah.
So we're starting to test how we can continue to add value. And then the second thing they can opt into is to continue, like, provide paid feedback on the tool. And it's really interesting. Like, I think it's over half of folks actually do put in their information. So to me, that question comes like late in the tool. And I think it's a testament to what an excellent experience people have had in their 5 minutes up to there, that they're like, yeah, I actually will share my information, even though it's not required. So it's sort of interesting.
Wow. And to get that sort of click-through response too. That's amazing.
Yeah.
So this is something that's available in Colorado right now. Any other states?
Yes. So it is under development in North Carolina. We're partnering with a civic tech organization there and a local philanthropic partner. And we are hopefully on the cusp of opening up the invitation to several more states to come and join us in this work. It is really fun because the way the project is set up, sort of from a technical standpoint, is that any work that someone is doing in one state is actually helping the core product to get better as well. And so we are just hoping for this like tide of everyone gets an excellent user-friendly screener in their state.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm going to be anxiously waiting to hear about that. So I think we'll need to do another updated What's Up Wednesday about that, because we are working with programs in several different states. But I think, this is something that should be available anywhere.
Yeah.
Can you talk a little bit more about the decision to make MyFriendBen a website rather than an app, and what steps are taken to ensure its user friendliness, maybe for people who might not be so tech savvy?
Yeah, so that is all about accessibility. So we didn't want people to have to download an app to have to be on a certain type of device. The tool is designed, it's mobile first, so it's meant to be used on phones, and that's how we expect most people to use it, but obviously it works on desktops as well. And so the goal is that you could be going into the library to get free internet on the computer, and you can like quickly do this without, again, you don't need a login, you don't need any sort of like do the CAPTCHA, like verify anything. So we tried to just remove all barriers to use. And I think on the tech savvy piece, it has been interesting. I mean, we know that many households have mobile devices, and that's like their primary connectivity strategy. We just like want this to be used in all cases. And I guess, sorry, I lost my train of thought for a second. But the one thing I would add is that we originally expected that many people would sit with a navigator or like a professional helper as they use the tool. And what we have found is that it's so intuitive, it's so like straightforward as you go through it, that many people are just using it on their own. So I think that's like a roundabout testament to the fact that even non-tech savvy folks are having success.
Yeah, definitely. And you're taking their feedback and putting it into improvements right away, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. How can childcare providers or caregivers utilize MyFriendBen to support the families that they work with?
Yeah, so we have a ton of partners, including some childcare providers. We partner with Colorado statewide 211 system, with counties, with all manner of organizations who are working with families who could benefit from this tool. And like the short answer is like, get in touch with us. You can go to myfriendben.org and like type into our form if you want us to partner more formally. But the big ask is to get the word out. It's really low lift for families. It delivers a ton of value. People get on average $1,500 in value for the year once they use the tool. So it just is like really incredible impact for families you might be serving. And the other thing I would say is, so that can look like flyers. We've got a get started kit with social media blurbs and newsletter content, and all that sort of stuff is already written up, and we are happy to share that. And the other thing I would say is like, think about automated systems that are already in place. We see a ton of engagement from text messages about this tool. We partnered with Bright by Text here in Colorado to send out a notification of like, hey, you looks like you have a young child, check out MyFriendBen. And tons and tons of folks click through on things like that, even without a whole lot of context about what it might be. And so I think anytime you have an automated system, scheduling appointments, like registration, anytime you're already sitting with a family or texting or emailing a family is a great time to think about getting the word out about this tool.
Yeah, spreading awareness. I did just put the link to myfriendben.org in the comments here. So if you're watching, you can click through on the comments, also in the description of this video as well. And we're working on having some materials to hopefully be able to send out to the providers that we're working with to give them those flyers and resources.
That's great. We appreciate it.
Can you talk about some of the immediate assistance options that MyFriendBen might give options for, especially for urgent needs like food and diapers?
Yes. So the primary use of the tool is directing folks to these sort of high value, like longer term supports, like SNAP or TANF or WIC or things like that. But we also heard from families that I might, be applying for SNAP and I might not hear for 2 or 3 weeks, and I need food this weekend, or I need diapers this weekend, or whatever it may be. And so what we've added in is like an immediate needs part of the tool where folks can click through. It includes things like rental and utilities assistance, diapers, food. Those are the top 3 that folks click on, unsurprisingly, given what we know about what is expensive for families, especially with young kids. But it also has like legal help and I have a concern about my child's development, or there's some behavioral issue going on. So there's a lot of different, there's about 9 different categories there. Folks can quickly click through on the ones they want to see. And then what we serve up is sort of like the top 1 or 2 best resources for that in Colorado. And so those are places where we've called, we make sure they pick up the phone. We make sure it's going to be a good user experience for that handoff. But is a resource that covers like enough of the state and things like that. And so that is a really popular place where folks are clicking, in addition to going on and applying for programs. And then we also include 211 and family resource centers across the state as other resources there for folks to get other help.
Awesome. And so to start using MyFriendBen, what is the first step? Website?
Just go to the website. And then, there's a Get Started button, and it brings you right into the screener, and off you go.
Perfect. Nice and easy.
Yeah.
How does MyFriendBen help in reducing the underutilization of public resources and improving access? I know you've kind of talked about this in every question, but you have more to share on that?
Totally. Yeah. So I think, a thing that is both like hope giving and frustrating about some of the supports that are available is, we know even in Colorado, we estimate it's like upwards of 750 million that are left on the table every year. Nationally, it's more like 60 to 80 billion dollars. That's like public money. It's already allocated. It's already approved. It's to programs that have like tons of rigorous research on their impact on reducing poverty, increasing stability, giving families like the support they need in times of crisis or just in tight spots. And so that's like, it's all there. And then it can be really hard to access, and people don't know about it. And there is some stigma as well. So what we see is that 80% of folks, or upwards of 80% of folks, say they learned about a new program. That's one thing about this tool that I think is different from some others. There's so much in there that people are like, sure, I knew about SNAP. Maybe I'm even already receiving it, but I didn't know that there was low-cost internet and phone that I could get through this, 10-minute application. So I think one is we increase awareness. And then second, we actually have followed families through as they use the tool. And we know about how many folks go on to apply, which is about half of people that we can tell from our data go on to actually access a new benefit. And as I said earlier, it's about $1,500 in value as sort of a median value. So we can like sort of see in real time access to families over about the first year of the project in Colorado. We estimate we've like sort of identified as benefits that are available to people, something like it's like $500 million. What we predict actually has been received by families is still at around like 8 or 9 million at this point. So it's really significant.
Yeah. So I think everyone watching, we need to spread the word about this and make sure that, because we know that these resources are needed. Totally. So we just need to make sure that everyone has access to them easily. Yeah. Is MyFriendBen available in any other languages?
It is. We are fully translated into 11 languages that are common in the Denver metro area. I probably have the list of it somewhere, but it obviously is like English, Spanish, Vietnamese, but then French, Amharic, Somali, Russian, Nepali, Burmese, Chinese, Arabic. So the first question in the screener, that was another thing we learned from users, is if you just have like a toggle up in the corner, again, like tech savvy, sort of non-tech savvy folks or folks who just don't navigate websites in different languages a lot might not know that. So we added a first question to explicitly ask, what is your preferred first language? That lists those 11 languages. And we saw like overnight use of the tool in Spanish like tripled because it was just much more clear to users that that was the first thing they should tell us instead of trying to struggle through it in English. So we don't see a ton of use, I have to say, in some of those other like, lesser spoken languages, but they're there, which is great.
Yeah, 11. That's amazing. Yeah. I love that. And just going back to the underutilization of the benefits, it just made me think we did do a What's Up Wednesday a few months ago on tax credits. And that was another one. There's a tax credit for Colorado residents that so many people don't know about.
Yes.
And, I mean, like trying to think back it's just for Colorado residents. Yes. I mean, not a whole lot of prerequisites there.
Totally. Wow. Yeah. And we have things like that. You might be thinking of Tabor for Colorado.
Yes, there you go. Yeah.
So we had that in the tool. And it's especially because many folks like might otherwise they might not be required to file taxes and they might not be choosing to do so. And the fact that we can expose not just that, but child tax credit, earned income tax credit, like those credits add up really fast, and they're like an incredibly meaningful chunk of money, and they're totally like unrestricted, it's actual cash. So they're hugely valuable for families. We saw folks clicking through to some of our tax help assister organizations was the most popular link over the past couple months during tax season, because the value there is just incredible.
We have covered so much today. I've learned so much. I hope that everybody watching has as well. Do you have any final thoughts to leave with us?
I would just say, Rachel has said this for me, but like spread the word, send families to the tool, send them to us if they have feedback. If you as a partner organization are like, oh, I used it, and there's a thing that I wish y'all would change, we literally update the tool on a weekly basis. So we love feedback. And of course, we're trying to get as many people as possible to use it. So would just encourage folks to reach out if they have questions or if they have feedback. And get it in front of families that you serve.
Great. Thank you so much for joining us today, Elise. I really appreciate you taking time out of your day to hang out with us here and share about MyFriendBen.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. This is excellent.
Awesome. Thank you to everyone who has watched live. Don't forget, we are doing a giveaway. You can add a comment to let us know what your favorite outdoor activity to do with your children is in order to be entered to win a scholarship to use Alliance Corps completely free for 1 year. So this giveaway is going on for 7 weeks, starting last week. So you can go back and watch last week's video to add a comment. This week, join us continuously. We would love to have you here. Thank you so much, everybody, and have a good rest of your day. Bye.